Barbed wire where children should be playing. Thai soldiers rolling it out on Cambodian soil. Hundreds of villagers fighting back with their bare hands. Despite promises of peace, tensions now explode. Artillery and rockets already killed civilians, and now we have exclusive footage from the border. Michael Alfaro traveled there at his own expense to witness it firsthand. No mainstream media, no government handlers, just truth. Thailand claims peace while laying down razor wire. Cambodia accuses them of bombing pagodas. Kids displaced, families terrified. This is not some distant conflict. Thailand is a U.S. ally. They're playing dangerous games with China. What you're about to see will make you question everything about our Southeast Asian partnerships. The betrayal is real, so keep on watching. And just like those border conflicts, they tear families apart. Chaos can hit your family without warning. If conflicts spread to your area tomorrow, would you be ready? That's why I always recommend My Patriot Supply. And right now, save $100 on their 3-month emergency food kit. Over 2,000 calories daily for 90 days. Real meals, not freeze-dried mush. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, snacks, everything is packed in sturdy buckets. Last 25 years, made in the USA. No MSG, no junk. When borders fail and supply chains break, you will be the hero who prepared. Go to preparewithgary.com right now. Get prepared and get peace of mind. Now, you are about to see never-before-seen footage. Michael Alfaro sent me exclusive footage that has never been seen. He sent it to me last night. I'm still processing a lot of it. We dropped 3 exclusive videos on the channel that you must see. Amazing videos. But here is just a clip of one of them. Michael at the Cambodia-Thailand border, face-to-face with Thai forces, children displaced, barbed wire where they should be playing, families living in fear. Tear down this wall. We want peace, and we choose love. Listen to this. And Michael is not holding back. It takes a lot of balls to do what he did here, and you're going to see it exclusively on the Next News Network.
I don't want to be in that room when he finds out.
Thank you so much.
I don't want to be. When I tell him I don't want to leave the room, and when that general over there from Thailand, he thinks he's a tough guy. He's about to find out who's the real boss around here. That these children are going to harm them. No, they're not. What they are doing is they're harassing and they're taking away their freedoms to play freely, and that's not okay. And the President of the United States, President Trump, will find out and will take action. These children deserve to have a safe place to play, not a war zone, not a zone where Thai forces can put barbed wire all around where the areas where they play, where they sleep. Not okay. That is not okay. And shame on every single dignitary that has came here and not been as outraged as I am today. This needs to be a call of action for these children. I want you to repeat after me. Say, tear down this wall. Tear down this wall. We want peace. We want peace. We choose love.
God bless you, Michael Alfaro, for risking everything to go there at your own expense. And this all happening as the president of South Korea visited the White House today. And listen to the words that came out of their mouth. The president of South Korea, stunning The world saying Donald Trump is the only person who can establish peace on the Korean Peninsula. Now, Michael went down to Cambodia, to the Cambodia-Thailand border. Now we have the president of South Korea saying Trump is the only one that can bring peace. President Trump is working to secure peace in Russia, Ukraine, all over the world. Listen to this.
So resolving this issue through my engagement is not an easy thing. And the only person that can make progress on this issue is you, Mr. President.
대통령께서 피스메이커를 하시면 저는 페이스메이커로 열심히 지원하겠습니다.
So if you become the peacemaker, then I will assist you by being a pacemaker.
That's good. We can do big progress, I think, with North Korea. Absolutely.
북한에 대해서 큰 진전을 함께 이루어 나갈 수 있다고 믿습니다.
Now President Trump brokering peace between North Korea and South Korea. Absolutely amazing. But what is terrifying is this footage has just come in. Thailand using long-range acoustic devices and sound wave disruption equipment is actually Ratray, governor of Batnay Mashani province, along with authorities at all levels, journalists and armed forces are standing together with their people. Now, I want to make a note here. What you're seeing villagers with bamboo sticks, okay? Fearless. Facing off against aggressive Thai soldiers. Right there. Now, I don't want to keep playing it, but you can see him. He's holding his nose. Clearly, some type of gas is being sprayed, and that's a press official. This is from Bong Siha. This is footage you'll never see presented by the mainstream media. Now, I want to present this. Okay, a friend of mine, J.R. Majewski, you've seen him on this show. He's also a mutual friend of Michael and I. Now, this message that we have been putting out is going worldwide. JR now picking up the scent, and he had this to say, calling out Thailand's lies and praising Alfaro.
And Gary Franchi. So what is that? Well, that is a bunch of soldiers from the Thailand military assaulting Cambodian civilians after they agreed to a ceasefire. Yeah, and now a good friend of mine, Mike Alfaro, teamed up with another good friend, Gary Franchi, and Mike actually used his own money and traveled to the border of Cambodia and Thailand to see what was going on himself because, well, Mike is a truth seeker. And come to find out, Thailand has been dishonest with the United States. Yeah, they're actually going through this little information war game where they're trying to incite Cambodia to defend themselves so they can violate the ceasefire. And they're doing so in a manner that is extremely tactical but childish. And again, Mike, being the guy that he is, paid to go to Cambodia on his own dime to see what was going on. And what he found was pretty eye-opening. You know, Thailand is an ally of the United States, and they're also pretty cozy with China. And Cambodia, well, you know, maybe their government is questionable, but I can tell you that in my interactions with Cambodians and through my friend Michael's truth-seeking, come to find out that these folks just want to be peaceful and free. And the government of Thailand is up to some shifty things. So as a friend, an ally of President Trump, along with Michael and Gary, I want to say that I believe the American people and the President of the United States would do what we always do, and we'll seek truth. And I pray for the people of Cambodia right now, but know that you got a good ally in Mike, one of the best people that I know. So God bless all of you guys. Keep speaking the truth, because sometimes that's all we have.
JR just nailing it right there. And he wasn't done. He dug even deeper into the Thailand-Cambodia crisis. Now, TikTokers in Cambodia are begging for peace while Thailand smears truth tellers like Michael Alfaro and myself. Allegations of white phosphorus on civilians. If Trump sees this, somebody's going to be in some deep shit.
Issue that I recently saw a headline that said Thailand accuses Cambodia of avoiding peace talks. Well, Thailand, who's the one who initiated the peace talks? Who contacted the ICJ? Who contacted the UN? Who's been trying to have peace talks for months?
Now, the more that I've looked into this Thailand-Cambodia issue that I've talked about this morning, the more troublesome it is. You can find videos like that online all over the place of people that live in Cambodia or of Cambodian descent that are begging for peace. And I don't see much from those of Thai descent. Not saying it doesn't exist, but here's what I've come to learn over the past few hours. Number one, the people that oppose my friend Mike Alfaro going to Cambodia and the Thailand border, they've tried to smear his name and his reputation. Undoubtedly, they don't realize who they're going after. A guy that's worked for President Trump, his family, many prominent Republicans and Democrats, to be quite honest. Mike has been one of the guys that has worked behind the scenes politically, all in good effort. He's helped with the Israeli Defense Force, the tribes, the Native American tribes here in the U.S. I mean, you name it, he's done it. So, I mean, you can't really go after it. And he's a veteran. You can't go after his reputation. But this is what people do when entities, this is what they do when they don't want the truth coming out. Now, I'm far from the truth right now. I'm learning. But what I've read and what I've seen from videos like this, troubling. Absolutely troubling. There's accusations that the Thailand government has used white phosphorus on innocent civilians. Look, I'll just end it with this. If all of this is true, and the President Trump finds out about it, somebody's going to be in deep shit. And the fact that someone that he knows and respects, like Mike Alfaro, has gone over there and done some due diligence, I think it's going to pay some huge dividends. I don't know. What I've seen from people online is a very distinct difference from what we hear in the United States. So if you're watching this video, regardless of where you stand, I would encourage you to look into this. This is quite possibly one of the worst humanitarian issues that we have right now, with severe implications in Asia that could affect the United States overall. So, again, praying for the people in Cambodia. Holy cow.
I recently saw a headline that said...
Yeah, this is serious, folks. I don't think you guys recognize just how serious it is. Here, watch how villagers, check this out, villagers clashing with Thai soldiers over barbed wire. After Thai and Cambodian military talks to ease border tension, protests broke out in the Chouk Chey village as Cambodian villagers confronted Thai soldiers laying barbed wire on their land, allegedly. Look at this footage. I mean, this is all happening.
Some wielding sticks. Tensions flared on Monday at Chouk Chey village in Bante Menchi province when Cambodian villagers confronted Thai soldiers allegedly laying barbed wire on their land, following high-level talks to ease Cambodia-Thailand border disputes. The protest erupted at 2:30 p.m. at the Chouk Chey checkpoint in O Bachoan commune, O Krov district, as villagers, some wielding sticks and knives, pushed back against armed Thai troops who did not fire their weapons. Phone Piseth, a Poipet resident visiting the village, told Kira Post that around 50 Thai soldiers attempted to install the barbed wire, prompting villagers to defend their territory. Cambodian soldiers were present, but stayed back to avoid escalating tensions. Kim Sraymam, a 45-year-old local, heard of the protest from nearby residents, confirming attempts to stop the Thai soldiers. A 5 p.m. live stream by journalist San Bunthon showed villagers and monks at the site. Thai outlet Kayosod English claimed Cambodian soldiers encouraged villagers to dismantle the wire in what it calls Ban Nong Chan Sakayo. Kira Post sought clarification from government spokesperson Pen Bona, who deferred to the Ministry of National Defense, which had not responded by publication. A 4 p.m. press conference by spokesperson Maili Sochiata only addressed a morning meeting of the Cambodia-Thailand Regional Border Committee, leaving the protest unaddressed. The incident underscores ongoing border frictions despite diplomatic efforts.
So this is ongoing, folks. We are tracking it every single day because it is time for President Trump to intervene. Here we have this. Heavy artillery and Grad rocket shelling reported along the Cambodia-Thailand border. Thai MFA urges citizens in Cambodia to leave immediately and advises against all non-essential travel until tensions ease. So the Thai MFA urging citizens in Cambodia to leave.
It's $9. It's $9.
I mean, you can hear the gunfire. Here is a post announcement of Thai people in the case of tension between Thailand and Cambodia. Following the current tension situation along Thai-Cambodia border line, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs asked the Thai people residing in Cambodia to leave Cambodia as soon as possible and the unnecessary Thai people to refrain from traveling to Cambodia until the situation is resolved. So you heard the gunfire. It's definitely breaking the ceasefire that President Trump worked so hard to create. Thai media reporting the Royal Cambodian Army attacking Pham Dong. This is from July 24th. Now, this is one of the claims that they're stating that Cambodia struck first. Now, it's no secret that there have been tensions brewing between all of these nations together. Thailand Defense Ministry confirming Royal Thai Air Force F-16 launching precision airstrikes on Cambodian positions July 24th. In response, Cambodia filed multiple BM-2 Grand rockets at Thai border towns. Footage shows rocket launching from western Cambodia moments ago. In response, major clashes breaking out in July 23rd. So tensions are escalating in that region. As you know, as I stated, and Michael Alfaro can confirm, President Trump has seen and is fully aware of the situation. We've even heard Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, make mention of it. It is time for the administration to speak stronger. And just like those Cambodians, carry a big stick. It's time. Shared border, shared just destiny, why Cambodia and Thailand must honor the ceasefire. This is 24 hours ago. Thailand border marked by unease and distrust. What should be places of reverence and connection have instead become flashpoints of fear where villagers live in limbo. Michael, there, on the ground with those villagers. Going to the Korean Peninsula, President Lee Jae-myung tells President Trump the situation on the Korean Peninsula was stable during his first term, but that North Korea further developed its nuclear capabilities under Biden. They would have not done that if I were president, President Trump stating, and the South Korean president says, I completely agree with you. President Trump discussing one of the things we're trying to do with Russia and China is denuclearization. We can't let nuclear weapons proliferate. We have to stop nuclear weapons. The power is too great. I firmly believe, however, that what we are seeing, these tensions in Cambodia, in Thailand, in Burma, in these nations, is China behind it all. I believe China is 100% behind it. They are trying to destabilize the region in an attempt to bait President Trump, to test President Trump's resolve. And it's time for President Trump, it's time for the White House to step up and carry that big stick like those Cambodian villagers. The Russians have made significant concessions to President Trump for the first time in 3.5 years of this conflict. President Trump negotiating peace all over the world. Now even South Korea is stepping up and asking President Trump for peace. The Cambodian people are stepping up and demanding that President Trump intervene for peace. Here's J.D. Vance.
Stop the killing. I think the Russians have made significant concessions to President Trump for the first time in 3.5 years of this conflict. They've actually been willing to be flexible on some of their core demands. They've talked about what would be necessary to end the war. Of course, they haven't been completely there yet, or the war would be over, but we're engaging in this diplomatic process in good faith. We are trying to negotiate as much as we can with both the Russians and the Ukrainians to find a middle ground to stop the killing. I think what the president has tried to do here is try to engage in very aggressive, very energetic diplomacy, because this war is not in anyone's interest. It's not in Europe or the United States' interest. We don't think it's in Russia or Ukraine's interest to keep going. So we're going to keep on pushing for a diplomatic solution. And one final point about this, Kristen, if you look historically, whenever you have a complicated war with a lot of death and destruction, it kind of goes in fits and starts. There are hills and valleys to the negotiation. We sometimes feel like we've made great progress with the Russians, and sometimes, as the president has said, he's been very frustrated with the Russians. And we're going to keep on doing what we have to do to bring this thing to a close. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I think that we're going to continue to make progress, but ultimately, whether the killing stops, that determination is going to belong to whether the Russians and the Ukrainians can actually find some middle ground here.
Well,
I think
so President Trump working for peace all over the world. And I have Michael Alfaro on the phone right now. I spoke with Michael earlier today. He brought what you just witnessed with those villagers with their sticks. Michael, what's your reaction so far, and what have you learned?
Well, I think the footage speaks for itself. You're seeing villagers with bamboo sticks and defending their land, and Thailand, who has always been from the beginning of this war until now, the aggressor, they're bringing machine guns, they're bringing artillery rounds, they're bringing mortar fire, they're bringing drones, they're bringing tanks, and they're harassing the farmers in these local poor areas, and they're claiming their land, and they're locking them out from their home, they're locking them out from their jobs, they're locking them out from their schools, out even after they destroyed them, and this is a direct violation of President Trump. President Trump has called for ceasefire. He told both countries, both the Thai king, and he also spoke to the Prime Minister of Cambodia, and he said, if you both don't have a peaceful resolve, we will tariff you at 100%. And both of them said, okay, we'll stop the fire immediately. And that was a miracle. That was a miracle for the world, and that was a miracle for Cambodia and Thailand. And yet, again, now that the cameras are away, and now that the American journalists are not on the ground, Thailand's going to continue to be the aggressor and to take what they can have because nobody will report on it. But Michael, thank God we have the Nexus Network.
Thank you, Michael, for that. And the village that we're looking at here, is this the same village that you were at, or is this another location?
No, it's another location, but it's nearby. All of it, there's about 12 impact zones where Thailand has invaded Cambodia, and it's all of within anywhere from within a 2-hour drive from each other, from each impact zones. And what they're doing is they're trying to redraw the map back to how it was before World War II. So when Japan controlled of all of Southeast Asia leading up to World War II, Thailand had more land. But because Cambodia fought alongside the U.S. in World War II, and also they've supported us in Vietnam, fighting the Ho Chi Minh Trail, United States and the Paris Peace Accords struck a deal where Cambodia was awarded more land. And so now the propaganda that's pushed from China into Thailand as education system and to the general public is, let's get back to Japan. Let's get back to times when we were aligned with China so we can reclaim land that was theirs. And that's what their side of the argument is. But this land has been disputed over 500 years. A lot of people have, many have died fighting on this border crisis. But what's scary is, as I mentioned before, and I think you covered it on the show earlier, the General Boon Sen from Thailand, who is educated from China, he wants to stop all transactions with the United States. He doesn't want us to buy any more military aircraft. That's why he made a big announcement that the Sweden airplanes had fighter jets have just arrived today to Thailand. He announced also that we're not going to buy submarines from the United States. We're going to buy submarines from China because they're made with perfect precision and they're better. The product is better in China. So the general definitely wants to take a turn towards China. And why should every American should be concerned is this is going to turn into
Michael,
World War III fast.
I was just about to ask you, because I just got a message from JR. He's currently in the chat. Maybe he could call and we could do a quick conference with all three of us here. And JR, if you're still there, give me a ring and I'll bring you into this real quick, because that's something that I think the American people need to understand is, why does this matter? This is half a world away. In America, we can go about our business and never pay attention to the visuals that we're showing on the screen right now. So why does this matter?
So I'll go ahead and take a first swipe at this. Thailand has always been an ally of the United States through and through. And we actually have our largest CIA operation actively going and running in Thailand that helps us counterfight China. And we have a large military base there, and we normally, like J.R. Majewski is deployed to Thailand as what we call an MOU. But what's critical about this is that Cambodia does not have a U.S. presence, does not have a military base. Vietnam does not have a U.S. military base on that land and that soil. So our ally is Thailand on the Southeast Asians. And so if China can create a wedge, if China can go ahead and turn the king away from the United States, then the United States cannot rely on Southeast Asia, which opens up the vulnerability that China will, in fact, this year, I'm predicting that China could invade either the Philippines or Taiwan, because we wouldn't have that strong arm in the South. We'd only have an ally in South Korea and in Japan. But we've recently seen with the new president, from Korea, he just announced that change of laws that all Koreans only have to serve 1 year in the military and not in 3 years, because he wants to have harmony between North Korea and South Korea, and he wants to tear down the border walls between North and South. So while that Chinese propaganda machine is pushing in the direction of China, including Japan as well, there's a real big turn here in the Southeast Asians. So all of this is to deneutralize the strong grip that we now have in Southeast Asia because of this trade war. And I just want to reiterate something that what I love about Trump's trade war is that it helps the world and helps President Trump and America to reevaluate who's our friends and our allies. Cambodia dropped their tariff war to zero, including Vietnam. That was literally from the left field. No one saw that coming. No one expected that coming. But what we're seeing from Thailand is saying, okay, America, you're going to tariff us at 40%. We're going to tariff you at 40%. You're going to bring it to 35, we'll bring it to 35. You're going to bring it to 19, we'll bring it to 19. Whatever you do, we do back. And they've been pushing against the Trump administration, whereas all the other Southeast Asian countries like Indonesia, Burma, Myanmar, countries that normally won't align with the United States, they are coming to us faster than we can say, oh, thank God. So it's very interesting in this time. The State Department just doesn't have the answers.
You brought up that you predict that China could in fact invade the Philippines or Taiwan. And I'm immediately drawn back to coverage I did some years ago on the military buildup in the South China Sea, the disputed islands there. The Chinese literally building military bases, like terraforming islands, clearly in anticipation of a military operation that could be very well what you're predicting now.
Yeah, so the South China Seas has been the issue. That's the reason why Vietnam has turned to President Trump, because the China cannot build their private islands fast enough. So now they're trying to bring in their military vessels, and they're saying islands off of Vietnam shores is theirs. And Chairman Tu Lam, who's a strong leader like President Trump, he's saying, no, not on my watch. That's not your island. That's our island. And they're fighting back. And so that's why he's cooperating with the United States, and he's allowing, for the first time ever, the United States can now park their vessels in that region. And in fact, President Trump has donated a warship to Vietnam, so that way the Vietnam can actually have the capacities to patrol their own waters and push back on China. And so you mentioned a good point here, because why does the general want some of this area in Cambodia? Well, because that area has some natural resources. They have oil, they have raw earth minerals, and if they can occupy that area, because they have the capital and investments tied in with the big banks with China, they can go ahead and dominate that area, and it will benefit China, not the United States. And so so the problem is that Cambodia doesn't have the resources, the financial infrastructure to invest and to capitalize on the resources that they have, and the oil in the oil capabilities and even the rare earth minerals. They don't have the education, the training, the skills, and the resources. And so China is, again, using Thailand as a proxy for their gain, but it's also a test to see if President Trump, how he will respond. Is he going to be delayed in his response? How is he going to do his move? And I think Trump can quickly solve this problem, just mandating both Thailand and the Cambodian leaders to come to the White House and to hash it out and to come up with a resolve. Otherwise, Thailand's going to have to be tariff. And I think if he does that, then the party that aligns with the United States, who just truly doesn't want this war, I think they will eventually can speak out against the military party, and then they can maintain control, and we can continue to look at Thailand as an ally. So this is very untreaded waters. And the problem with right now with the trade war and speaking and constructive criticism to it, the problem is that everyone doesn't want to be on the wrong side of Trump. So the world is watching. The world knows, but the world won't step out and say and make a choice, because if they're on the wrong side of Trump, they don't want to feel the consequences of Trump's tariff. So that's the problem, is that the world is literally waiting for Trump, and while the world is waiting, Thailand is going to continue to see what they can get away with and to test Trump's resolve. But the facts are the facts. This general is no longer buying from Lockheed Martin and from Boeing, and he's buying aircraft from Europe. He's also, gone off and saying that we're going to buy, Chinese submarines. So I know historically, Thailand and the United States has always been a great ally, and it's always been a great trusted partner in the Southeast Asians, but you have to judge about the here and the now. This is a new world that we're living in, and Trump is reshuffling the cards and seeing who's who and who truly has America's back. And those who do have America's back, you will be rewarded. I believe that. But again, back to your point, your question, the problem is that yes, China is looking for leverage in the South to open the door for invasion in Taiwan or the Philippines. They want one or the other of the island, whatever one opens up first. And by causing this disruption here in Thailand, it totally opens the door quickly for them to attack. And I also want to educate the viewers. There's a crisis right now, a manufacturing crisis of heavy artillery, high rockets, motor rounds, projectiles. We have used so many rockets and projectiles, especially in Europe. The inventory is almost down to nothing in Germany. So if Russia wanted to put a few tanks in Germany would have to immediately cave to Russia. I mean, it's a real problem that we have, and China knows, and they're being very patient. They know that the inventory is low in Europe. They know the inventory is low around the world, besides the United States. And when the manufacturing crisis continues to crash, and if they can cause disruption in the South, it's just you can only guess that it's a matter of time until the invasion will hit Taiwan or the Philippines.
Wow. Michael, thank you so much for taking the time to call in and keep us updated on all things that are affecting the people of Cambodia and why it matters to the United States and the world. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll talk soon. All right, that was Michael Alfaro doing the Lord's work right there. So we are not going to give up on this story. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is what happens when allies play both sides, folks. Thailand takes our military aid while cozying up to China. Now they're terrorizing Cambodian villagers, rolling barbed wire through their land, displacing families. Michael Alfaro saw it himself, paid his own way. No agenda except seeking the truth. His message from the border was simple: tear down this wall. We choose love. But love doesn't stop artillery. Peace doesn't stop land grabs. So here's my question. Should America reconsider military partnerships with countries that attack civilians? Drop a yes or no in the comments. We can't preach democracy while our allies practice oppression. The villagers of Chouk Chey deserve better. Our tax dollars shouldn't be funding their suffering. If you want to support our work here at the Next News Network, do check out our merch shop. It's linked down below. Stand for something real. This is Gary Franchi with the hard truth that they don't want you to hear.